Hey guys, how's it going? Olasy here. Welcome back to another formation guide. Thank you for checking out the video today. I really appreciate your support on the channel. Thank you so much. So let's talk about the 4-5-1 attack. A very interesting formation. You're going to see how I've lined it up today, what tactics and instructions I've used to make this formation very viable. And what I will say about the formation from the outset is it's very transitional in its attacking approach. You almost appear from a 4-5-1 into a 4-3-2-1 into a 4-3-3, and it all happens quite naturally. But let's talk a bit more about that later on in the video. Harry Kane playing as our target man, allowing us to cross the ball in. But on top of that, we're also able to play the ball into feet and allow runners in behind. Bale and Bergwijn are playing as our cams, but they're more actually going to be wingers in this formation. They can have a natural drift wide on their instructions, so it allows us to maintain a really good attacking option out wide for us. Son and Lo Celso are playing as our left and right midfielders with their high work rates, but they're really going to be playing more of a central role, and the way that we do that is playing a very narrow formation to support Højbjerg, so that allows us to have Højbjerg in a defensive capacity without giving up any midfield creativity. But at the same time, it allows us to naturally attack the wings, and the supporting runs that the centre midfielders are going to offer you is a central support, and then as you progress up the pitch, the centre midfielders will start to make their way on the overlap and come around the outside of Bale and Bergwijn. But Bale and Bergwijn will naturally drift out wide and then make their way back on the inside as the width of the formation overtakes the instructions. So it's a very interesting formation, very transitional in its approach. And you'll see through the clips at the end how the centre midfielders stay quite narrow. I'm sorry, the left and right midfielders stay quite narrow, almost playing the centre midfielders. The cams drift out wide, then the cams come back inside, which allows space for our centre midfielders or left and right midfielders to get on the outside and cross the ball in and have a lot of options available to us. Højbjerg is going to be our shield in front of the back four. Reguilón and Aurier are going to be staying back while attacking. We don't want to overcommit. We've got a lot of natural width already, so there's no need to bring the fullbacks into play. They're going to have an inverted run style, so if we do want to trigger a run, it's because Lo Celso and Son are not available, so their run will be to support Højbjerg in the middle of the pitch. Very interesting dynamic with this formation. Let's jump into the tactics then, and we can talk a bit further about that. Press after possession loss. We're naturally playing quite high up the pitch with our three attacking players staying forward. So if we lose the ball, we can do a quick press, and we've got 5 players there that can cover the back four, and then at least 1 or 2 centre midfielders as well. Really great formation for winning the ball high up the pitch. Full width as well. We've got natural width, so we don't really need to have it any higher than that. If anything, we want to play slightly narrow defensively, and full depth as well to just ensure that we don't get caught on any counters because we've only got 1 CDM. 1 width. I know what you're going to say. I have never used 1 width. Why have we gone for 1 width on this formation? It really does work. It allows our left and right midfielders to play very narrow to support Højbjerg, but at the same time we don't give up any natural width because we've got our 2 cams on drift wide, so they're going to take up wide positions as well, and because they're staying forward, that width is always available to you, even if you've got your left and right midfielders coming nice and narrow. Fast build up play allows for that transition to happen so naturally and quickly. Into the instructions today, and they play a really pivotal role with the whole formation. Stay central, target man for Harry Kane. Let the ball stick to his feet. Allow Bale and Bergwijn to run in behind, but at the same time, Son and Lo Celso are options for us to come back and rotate the ball round. Bale is going to be staying forward and drifting wide, like I said, so he's going to be taking up those wide positions. The cams are almost playing like wingers, and the wingers are almost playing like central midfielders. A very interesting dynamic, but at the same time, we don't give up any width because the supporting run of the left and right midfielders will start off narrow and then make their way wide. We're going to allow us to flick the ball in behind as well with Kane as he drops in to pick the ball up off of Højbjerg and Lo Celso and Son. Bergwijn and Bale will make their way in behind as well. Free roam for Lo Celso and Son just ensures that they make their way from a wide position into the centre of the pitch, so they're going to be taking up that cam role, that centre midfield role as well to support Højbjerg. Really interesting as well because we want them to come back on defence, so almost like playing like box to box players as well. So their role in the team is very pivotal as to hinge in terms of how the whole formation works. come short as well. We want them to be able to support all aspects of the pitch, the centre, the cams, the striker, and you'll see in the clips later on in the video exactly how that role plays out. Very interesting for a left and right midfielder. Probably the only formation in the game where you'll have wingers that are playing such an interesting role in a formation. They're almost going to be playing like centre midfielders, cams and wingers all in one. But it really does work as well, and with that one width, it just ensures it all stays nice and narrow, but at the same time it has that natural width to it as well. Fullbacks staying back while attacking. Of course, we don't want to overcommit defensively. We've got Højbjerg playing the centre defensive role, and we're allowed to do that and not give up any central creativity because we've got Kane dropping in and Lo Celso and Son coming in narrow as well. I prefer Sissoko. I didn't touch on that earlier in the video. I prefer Sissoko at centre back. He's such a presence back there, and at the same time, if I want to bring one of the centre backs forward into the middle of the pitch to support Højbjerg, I know I can bring Sissoko quite comfortably and not get caught out with any sort of technical ability. He's quite comfortable on the ball as well. And inverted run type on the fullbacks, like I touched on earlier, just allows them to have a run that supports Højbjerg just in case we need to trigger that. So if we've got it as a centre back, trigger the run for one of the fullbacks into Højbjerg and then into the fullback quite naturally with a short pass with the inverted run. So going forward, we're going to be looking along the lines of a 4-3-2-1, and what I mean by that is Bale and Bergwijn are staying forward. They're going to be drifting wide, and as you can see, they're going to start as centre forwards, then make their way into wide wingers, and then Son and Lo Celso are going to be playing as centre midfielders, but not quite like this template formation, just a little bit wider, playing on the cusp of a left and right midfielder. Into the clips now then, you're going to see we're able to play the ball up the pitch quite nicely because we've got that target man in Harry Kane, a real interesting role in this formation, and I would stress to you, you need to have a target man at the top of the pitch for this formation to really get your maximum potential out of it there. Into Højbjerg here, there's the central position that Son's taken up. We triggered a run with Aurier, which allows us to get allows him to get forward, and of course Bale has made that run into the channel there. Sanchez on the ball here. You can see the central run here. Son is out wide in this occasion, and then into Harry Kane's feet as he's playing that target man role. Nice 1-2 with Bale, and look at the overlapping run on the outside with Lo Celso there, which allows us to get in. And you can see the run types that the centre midfielders, or should I say left and right midfielders, offer are very interesting. Højbjerg here picking up the ball. Son has made his way into a wide position, now coming in quite narrow here. Into Bergwijn, who's now made his way into a central position, but Lo Celso's got that supporting run out wide. We can naturally come back inside where Son's made his way into the inside there. Nice 1-2 of Harry Kane and Bergwijn, and then small intricate passes. Very interesting. You know, a lot of variety in this formation, and like I said from the start, really fun to play. Lots of attacking options available to you. Great formation overall for scoring really beautiful goals and overwhelming your opponent in the attacking sense. And because of all the runs that are being made and the way that the tactics and instructions are playing out, it's such a difficult formation to pick up players because you've got left and right midfielders making their way inside, you've got cams making their way wide, you've got a striker that's playing collect the ball to feet, target man role. So you've got so many options available to you. You can go out wide with ease, you can play through the centre quite comfortably. You've got dummy runs like you saw there with Son making that dummy run, allowing Bergwijn to come inside and find his way in the position. Yeah, really interesting formation overall, and I very much enjoyed its transition up the pitch from 4-5-1 to 4-3-2-1 to 4-3-3, and especially having that target man role. I'm quite comfortable with the target man role. If you would like a video on that and how to play that role much more effectively, be sure to drop a comment down below because it really is important in this formation to have a target man. As you can see here, Kane there dropping off to pick the ball up, and that allows Bergwijn and Bale and Son to get forward. Kane again dropping in nice and deep. Bale there, and Son's made the overlapping run we can play it into Kane for a nice easy goal. But I hope you've enjoyed the formation guide today. Be sure to drop a comment down below and let me know of any formations that you would like to see in the future, or maybe a specific tactic that you want me to do a more in-depth video on as well. I'd be more than happy to do that. And I just want to say, I know some people have put in the comments about certain formation guides or videos they want to see in the future, and I'm working my way through those, so I've not forgotten about you. But as always guys, have a great evening, take care, and I will catch you next time.